let's start with neutral sites, playing the postseason, the World Series, and all of that in domes or in warm weather cities. What would you think of that?
Well, Tony Clark, the mouthpiece for the players, said it best. They'll play anywhere. Players will play in Timbuktu if you make a game there, because it's all about getting as many games as possible for these players. These guys are used to playing in spring training and, other places. It won't be a big deal for them to play neutral games. But the fact of the matter is the execution of these neutral sites will be very interesting. When does it start? Does it start, early? Mid-November? Where exactly are the neutral sites? And I guarantee you there's going to be fights between different stadium owners and team owners about how do you split this revenue. So the questions are going to be, how do you execute the neutral sites late in the season?
The other piece of this that gets interesting is the idea of a lot of doubleheaders during the season, and it was even floated the notion that maybe you would play 7-inning doubleheaders. I know when we spoke last week, you were vehemently opposed to these concepts. Is your mind starting to change?
My mind is changing because I've talked to a few executives in Major League Baseball, and they said, sorry, Tex, this is going to happen. We have to squeeze the games in here. And for me, it's all about, the competition, putting players at risk. Guys are going to be playing way too many games in shortened amount of time. But the players have already said, listen, we are up to anything. We will play the extra games. We will play doubleheaders. And so what I would say is the only way that you can execute that is making sure that the players are protected. Play 7-inning games if you're going to do doubleheaders. And also, don't play extra innings. After the 10th inning, the game is over, because the worst thing you can have is have a doubleheader with one of those games going 11, 12 innings, and then the next day you play another 9. So we have to be very careful how much stress we're putting on these players. I think 7-inning games and limiting extra innings will help that.
Now, limiting extra innings is something that I actually campaigned for on my old show on Mike and Mike. I said back at that time that after 12 innings, the game should just be over. These 19-inning games they create a whole lot more problems than they are exciting for anybody. What is your thought? You're suggesting 10 innings here in a 7-inning game. What do you think? And is that something you think they should take with them whenever it is we come out of this and go back to some normalcy?
Yeah, it's a good idea, Greeny. I'm not, I'm a traditionalist by nature, and that's why the 7-inning game just kind of blew my mind. But as you think about what you actually have to do to protect these players and get these games moving, extra inning games get really boring. They can get really long. They can mess up a pitching staff for weeks. And so forget about just the double headers. I think the regular season, you should have games end after 10 innings. And Major League Baseball can really think about this in the next season and beyond, because this is a small way to help the rosters, make sure you're not burning too many pitchers, and also keep the game moving.
I totally agree. And you see Hembo popped it up on the screen. It would basically mean about 5% of the games, so maybe one per team per month, might end in a tie. To me, that would not be the end of the world. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.